before today, we had the security apparatus, of course, led by the Ghana Police Service, doing some simulations to tell us how ready they were. And it follows that debacle or their poor showing at those reruns of those 19 polling stations in Ablekuma North and how poorly they performed. And so they are trying to tell us there's a show of force. But alongside, you would also know that we've been having across various states of the Ghana states the celebration of the Homo. The latest has been that we've had some inconsistencies in the narrative, sporadic shootings that have been experienced, especially just over the weekend in the communities of Sowutuom, alongside many others as well. And, well, we have to call on the police service. They have to be consistent with what they do and what they cannot do as well. And so what do you make of this as well? So we'll be asking you our question of the day, your expectations for the by-election from the side of the Electoral Commission, the security apparatus, of course, led by the Ghana Police Service, and then who do you think will be winning as well? If you're a resident of Akwatia, you tend to watch us, please. You're invited to call in as well. We're going to have Johnny's Bite, and after that, we'll be discussing what needs to be done to make sure we have a peaceful poll in Akwatia for that by-election. And we're going to have a number of people. We'll have lawyer Pierre Dankwa joining us. Edem Agbana will be here, and then joining us on stream is Professor Kwesi Enim, long consultant when it comes to security matters, not only in Ghana, Africa, but the rest of the world as well. And they're going to cut across Dr. Tutu Buahi also will be joining us as well. So make sure that you're very consistent with us. All right. Well, so question of the day will be coming up right up. And what do you make the Akwatia by-election? Your expectations, what do you want to be done? Very instructive. It's up next. Well, and already I'm getting a lot of messages. Happy New Month. This one is coming from Dr. Juliet Yayora Tenga. Good morning to you. You are with the Ghana Military Academy and says that a lot of emotional intelligence needs to be exhibited by all sides of the political divide in this by-election. Everybody needs to know that even though the stakes are high, people's lives matter. And being true to the tenet of democracy would also need a lot of emotional intelligence to be exhibited by all and sundry. Dr. Julia Yayora Tenga of the Ghana Military Academy, the faculty there, just giving us that very instructive message. Alhaji Bunigere Botshele, Decibel, how was your weekend?
Roland.
Happy New Month to you.
Roland, Decibel.
Nah. Gomshin.
Campo Hakapo Shamima Mustem, Omino Yidana, the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Debra. Just send my greeting to Chairman of Ampo for and Chief Audi for Pasoka and Lipa Wado and Dr. Alkar will be. You see, after that, I think sort of us, we knew that, and this was after the violence, but people thinking that Biden would be there. You see, don't think, because I see Yahoo deploy the 600 policemen, or is that also?
We're told
600 police.
We're told that there are even more than that.
They have even more than that. So we don't want what happened for Ayawaso West Wogon and Abekunanof to happen there. So I think that people in Africa, they knew who they would vote because they did the involvement in the Akwatia. When MPP go in there, look at the campaign and they have been doing. And certain people. So set party and you think that you vote for them. No, don't make mistakes. Because Global Info Analytics, Honorable Musa Dankwa, saying that NDC will win that 53%. So we have been urging our people in Africa, they need to come out their members and vote for NDC. candidate. Thank you very much.
Alhaji Binayirabo Shele. Thank you for calling in, always consistent with the calls. And then also Majina is also on stream as well. But please make sure, what do you make our question of the day to you about your expectations, our own readiness as a country, the security apparatus based on their assurances for the Akwatia by-election. And just in case you're watching us, please make sure, let us know what you think. All right. And so we have Idris on the line. Good morning to you, Idris.
Roland, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Indeed24. I'm calling you from Upper West Region. Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
Please,
Roland,
yes, sir.
Let me say good morning to the good people in the Upper West Region in our own language.
Mm.
And while I answer my again B24 Lana.
Mm.
And anytime when I'm speaking while on TV3, it feels like the whole of the general media is in Upper West region. Do you understand? Because the people in Upper West like TV3 and media general people.
All right.
And
thank you.
I'll say good morning to the NPP regional chairman, your friend Alhaji White.
Mm.
Yeah, he was in Accra with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia the day before yesterday gone.
Okay.
Yes. Well, what I have to say about Akwatia is that it's very shame to Ghana that a single constituency that is having elections and they are moving hundreds of police people to the center. Roland, this is insecurity threat to the country. How much people are there in Akwatia? And they're having election in Akwatia, and they are moving police people, more than hundreds of policemen, to the constituency. We have to be careful with our political system that we are running. Well, it's very bad. It's very bad. Let me tell you, currently people that are in Akwatia, almost 60 or 40% doesn't know the reason why they are even in Akwatia. That isn't talking about being in Akwatia to fight for NDC or to fight for NPP.
Mm.
It's a very big change. We have to know our big politicians that how they do their thing. Most of them are not there with their family. Both the NDC and the PP. They are not in Akwatia with their family members. But they'll carry gurus there to do Nyama things there. It's not going to help. The Roland, so far so good. How much about Bole Bombay or Upper West Road? It is dormant. You are not hearing anything again about that road. We want the Ministry of Roads and Highways to tell us something. Where have they been? Where have they started? And how much percentage have they gone?
Okay.
We want to know something about the road, Roland.
All right. Thank you very much, Idris, calling us. And Alhaji Wise, the MPP regional boss for the Upper West region, also getting a lot of mention from Idris. But we have a lot of messages coming through. I have this one from... that would be Prince Nani Oyok, watching us from the UK, says the MPP are engaging in emotional manipulation by their own work. Akwatia must be green for development. They shouldn't vote for an MP who will be walking out from Parliament. Akwatia must be green, you say. And then you also say happy birthday to Mami Abuan from Boise from Selina Inkum as well. We have Mohammed. Mohammed.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, salam.
Yeah, walaikum salam. Yeah, uncle.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. I just want to ask a question. In 2020, when we started elections in this country, has anybody deployed anybody at the voter region before? The whole general election, military men were deployed at voter region. Who spoke about it? They saw it to be normal. And even if we are talking about security in the country, military, they are for external operations. They are not for internal operations. It's the police that are for internal operations. But, my brother, they deployed the military at the voter region. That is their regime. Nobody spoke about it. Now that they've deployed police at Akwatia, they are talking about it because they know what they want to do. So if I get a chance, they should beef up the number in Akwatia. More military, even military men should go there and beef more of this thing. You see, these are our people, these are our NTP people. Everything that the government will do, they just want to make the government unpopular, which is very, very bad. When you deploy the military men at Volta region in 2020. Who spoke about it? People talk about it. They were like, oh, because of this, because of these people crossing Togo to Ghana, that's the reason why they did that. But they have their own motive. So, my brother, greetings to everybody. And TV3, I like what you are doing. God bless you all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you as well. Lance Corporal Leonard Yankee celebrated the birthday before the weekend of the police hospital, the finance department. Good morning to you. And, well, the question is still on. What do you want to be undertaken in Akwatia? What are your expectations from the Electoral Commission, the police service, the general security apparatus as well, and how the parties, both MPP and NDC, need to comport themselves in this election? And this follows closely following those issues that were recorded in the Ablekuma North rerun, so to speak. And so closely following that, it means that all of us need to, well, for those, Sam, Osama.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Osama bin Laden.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Okay, Osama, where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Bolga, Olikoko.
Okay, please go ahead. Your expectation.
Yeah, first of all, good morning to the viewers of TV3, and then a biggest good morning to my Honorable Dr. Brian Champong, the incoming flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party. Roland.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you see NDC. We are going to follow them purely in this election. This election will determine whether this will be the last violence of election at that election or it will not. Although they have deployed the policemen, they have deployed the military, but MPP, we are also coming there killed. We are very, very careful to look at this election. Honorable Brian Achampong is also coming with his men to also monitor the election, but he is not coming there with violence. He is not coming there with intention of any violence, but he is coming purposely because of the right thing should be done.
Okay.
So I think this will determine Ghana whether every by-election violence will continue or violence will not continue. Or else this incompetent government, the way they are governing the country, they are moving the country towards to. I think if Akwatia people want the good development of Akwatia, they should try their possible best. Come out and vote for the MPP candidate. He will give them a better development. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Osama calling us from Boga, and very vociferous and consistent with his comment in there. And, well, so we have more comments coming through. This one is coming from Sherry Giovanni. So Sherry Giovanni has, well, an interesting message as well. And while we do that, I'm saying good morning to Kennedy Kojo Boche. Good morning to you, a.k.a. Kenzie. Kenzie, how are you? But Sherry Giovanni says that, well, for the Akwatia by-election, I expect, first of all, the police to be very professional and diligent to ensure no casualty is recorded. He continues, on the part of the political parties and the Electoral Commission, they must also conduct themselves in a manner to ensure the safety of all and sundry. But at the end of the day, the MPP will carry the day as a victor. Good morning to Dr. Yao Sarkodie Ajamang of the University of Cape Coast. And that's coming from Sherry Giovanni. Well, and then also we have this one from Rita Vardita. Good morning to you, Rita. Wish you all the best for this. It says, we're pleading with the people of STK, especially the youth, to put down their arms and let peace prevail so development could come back to the area. All right. Alhaji Seidu. Good morning. Where are you calling us from?
Good morning, sir. Fine, sir. I'm very grateful that this morning I've got the station.
Okay.
I've been trying for more than 1 year now.
Okay.
I didn't get the station.
Sorry, the lines are always busy because many people, hundreds of people want to call in at the same time. Please go ahead.
It's true, more than 100, thousands of people, the whole Ghana.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Seidu. Please
Very
go ahead
good,
with
very
your
good.
expectations for Akwatia.
Very good. I am happy that you read some message today.
Mm-hmm.
The message said they can't vote for NPP for them to be walking out. I am very happy with that message. I want Akwatia people all to know that when they vote NPP, they will go to the parliament, always they will walk out. And then when you vote somebody to go and do something better for you, and the person will walk out every day, how can things will go easy? It won't be fine. Those in Rokomu Dana Akwatia Duka, so vote to buy NDC, some of the social development. Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Alaikum salam. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. And so we have a couple of comments I'll just go through. I'm saying good morning to Frank Ameibo of Bost. And we have the CEO or the managing director of Bost Energies. They've now rebranded from Bost Energies. That's Afrocon Awuno celebrating the birthday yesterday as well. Happy birthday to you, Afrocon Awuno. The Bost Energy, so to speak. And so wishing all the best, including everybody, Boy, as well as Lawyer Ziga and everybody else. So this one is coming from Oseboating Ajimai, who says that the MPP certainly will carry the day. You just have to look at the consistency with which we've had key leading figures, including the individuals who want to be presidential candidates, trooping to the constituency for you to know that they really mean business. And then also Courage Kutuka says, I hear Dr. Baumia saying that it is the NDC that caused the late Yakumi's death. But were we not in this country when the MPP took the Assin North Member of Parliament, that is James Jachikweson, to court? He's a Ghanaian, yet he faced charges of forgery and perjury with allegations that he held Canadian citizenship. And he continues to say, Dr. Baumia has started his again, and this is not fair. Bishop Kwabla of the Anglican Church, wishing you all the best for the day as well. And Chief Mante up in Akosombo says, I think we are not serious as a country. Just by election, we have deployed 5,000 policemen. Look at the resources involved. In fact, we need to be disciplined as a country, devoid of unscrupulous behavior. Charlie, big words. Johnny Hughes, ready with more big words in Johnny's Bites. Stay with us.
On social media to share our content and to distribute it to the rest of the wonderful world. We don't take you for granted at all. To our truck driver friends, our taxi driver friends, and to all the other great guys over the weekend, I met some great people. Auntie Kate, good morning to you. Kate Lai, good morning to you. And all the great guys I met over the weekend. I appreciate the love and support. But let me say thank you this morning to Sonar Fashions in Tamale. Sonar Fashions in Tamale, 0246 590 162. That's 0246 590 162. Get something special for you and yours. This is a one-piece agbada, and it feels so cool on your skin. It's so comfortable. It's so nice, so trendy. You should get it, especially on a day like this when we will be launching the 3FM Afro Connect, where at the center of it all we have the Jollof Wars. And last year Ghana won the Jollof War against Nigeria, against Sierra Leone, against Liberia, against Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, and many other African countries. This year is going to happen again, but the big launch is happening this morning, and you expect the creme de la creme from the various embassies and high commissions. 10 of them will be here, and we will have that special one. It's going to happen at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. You cannot miss it. 9 a.m. sharp on the 22nd of September. So please mark it. Monday, the 22nd of September 2025. We have a date. It's called the 3FM Afro Connect 2025. And we're celebrating everything African and amazing in one spot. And if you haven't been there before, you have to be there. There are vendors, the playground for children, there's a live band session, many other things. Jollof War on the side, everything, dancing competition. It's a whole family fun day out, African family fun day out, and it's just African stuff that we're doing out there. We are grateful to EcoBank and then also to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park for making sure that this is going to happen. And as I mentioned earlier, the launch is happening this morning. So please connect with us. And let me repeat Sona's number, 0246 590162. That's 0246 590162. Sona Fashions is in Tamale, but they deliver across the world, and you can always get something from them. Now, over the weekend, two things happened that I thought were backward. Forgive my French, taflache. Backward. The first one was when the NDC's national chairman and his entourage, General Asedun Ketia, went to the, in fact, before I say that, let me say congratulations also to my producer, 62's Don Ulo. He sat and passed the bar exam, and very, very soon, some say Esquarista, but it's not Esquarista, it's Esquire. 62's Don Ulo, and many others, Eric J. and all the guys who wrote. My late friend, Ernest Yaokumi, would have been part of this pack. And calls are coming in that the General Legal Counsel should perhaps consider giving him a posthumous call to the bar, because he spent 10 years of his life working towards it, and some of us who were close in the knew, may he continue to rest in peace. But the sad thing was that at his 1 week observation, something very, very unpalatable and very indecent and very regrettable and very shameful happened. That the entourage of the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, led by General Asedun Ketia, or General Mosquito as he's called, were literally blocked from entering the venue. According to General Asedun Ketia, he thought that initially it was traffic, only for them to step out of their vehicles and walk to the funeral grounds, and then they were literally being mobbed. If you had seen the videos on social media, I don't want to glorify those videos, but if you had seen the videos on social media, you see one lady charging at him, wanting to beat him up. Some say, well, maybe she does it to her husband at home, so she's bringing it out now because her husband may be resisting at this point. But what mother of Bishi would let anybody behave like that? Even the founders of the party would not do what you're doing. And sometimes I think that we allow partisanship and unnecessary emotions to drive us to the point of insanity. Because what happened that time was a point of insanity. Not to remind anybody of their pain. August has shown us Shege, and now we are in September. Welcome to the new month of September, my birth month. Friday is my birthday. So this week, I no go grieve for anybody. Friday is my birthday, the 5th. So this week, I no go grieve for anybody. What happened was crass. A young crassism, crass. To the point where, look, when the 8 people died, and not to remind anybody of their pain, the leadership of the New Patriotic Party called on the leadership of the NDC to commiserate with them, as is done in our tradition and our custom. Who chased anybody away? Ernest is my friend. So why would you chase anybody away from a point where they are coming to mourn? Even the good book, the Bible, if you claim you're a Christian, says mourn with those who mourn. So what was all that incrassism about? A young crassism, a young newsem, when you and yet a young crassism. And I expect that the leadership of the party will reprimand them and call them to order. That a young crassism. It should never happen again. Another thing that should never happen again, and I know that my tribesmen, the Gans, will not be happy with me. I don't care. I don't care. We're celebrating Homowo. Homowo is supposed to be a festival where you're jubilating, hooting at hunger. If you know the history of Homowo. And then it becomes a gunfire exchange. You are fighting about Obaken, wanting to get it. Then people are teasing you, say, Obaken, alo Obana, alo Bobana. They're teasing you. You become a butt of jokes. Dan e ka fishes ana nya hwe nya shidan. Dan ana ka shiga me yafi. Dan e ka fishes ana na ko se cheme ko mani futu wodan. Dan ana ka ga me yafi. Da ne kafi says na ke hingbeji ani bi so na ba fe. Da ne kafi she sani wo for mama ne wo mu je wo for he agbona. Ma ba wo ha wo musunye wo hin. Ashwani a sprinkling people. A simple conversation about boundary has led to the loss of lives. It happened in Teshi, it happened in Swotom, Omanjo. What kind of insanity is that? And just last week I was talking about the proliferation of small arms. And if you go behind, you find that there are some chiefs and some elders who are behind it in this day and age. Gamanche, Ni Takiteku Churu II, Abiasuma, he's asking everybody to come together. You may have your issues with him, I don't care. But he's asking people to come together. He's trying to give the Gun State a certain positive public image. Some people may not like it because once we come together, it will not inure to their benefit. That's another argument to have. She is anida fear, yes, she nege. Bonke bi obo, bo tete nke yobo. Sanida fear showing yashinege. Akebu eda no ba chi atwan. Akebu eda no ba fitele. Akebu eda ne ka bo no ba gbe. Akebu eda ne ka ti akpiti na ba hwan keke bo ka akewu kan me ko. Musuefo jibo. Musuefo jibo. Ma bok blagan se. Ake ganse gbejigbe. No haniga ye yin. Now, 6, take me to the Greater Accra Regional Minister's office. Last week, she spoke to the MMDCs. I want to re-echo something that she said last week. She made it clear to them what the people of Accra, whether you are an indigene, you are a visitor, you are a resident, you are a passing through person or whatever it is, he said there are things that the people who reside in Accra are looking for. And those are the things they must get. Please play the video for me.
Conclusion. Let me remind all chief executives here. Your performance
Sunrise
will be based on 3
the
clear
best
areas.
in the morning.
Sanitation, street light, and enforcement of bylaws. This will be documented in my report to the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, and forwarded to the presidency. To the general public, I call on all residents to report 40 street lights for quick action. Take responsibility for sanitation and avoid indiscriminate dumping. Stop mounting unauthorized billboards and assist security agencies in protecting the public infrastructure. I also wish to sound a caution to persons who steal metal and covers and sell them to scrap dealers. Please, you are warned to desist from this act. Anyone caught will be severely punished and dealt with
Sunrise
by the
on
law.
3FM.
The people of this region are tired of words. They want results, and they want them now. Thank you for your attention.
We want results. And speaking of results, I went through town. Somebody whispered to me that perhaps, because you see the lights, street lights fixed, and then in a matter of a week or two, the lights go off. You look up there and you see the bulbs are there. Somebody whispered to me that perhaps the assemblies do not want to bear the cost of the electricity bill. I don't know how true that is, but somebody said that. And this is, I'm just sharing the public perception out there with you, MMDC. That because you have to foot the bill for the street lights and traffic lights, you deliberately ask the people to put them off. That is the school of thought out there. But then I wrapped my mind around it and I said, but when we are supposed to be paying, when we pay for our electricity bills, we pay 1% for street lighting. So why can't we have a bright city? Those of you who travel, and in fact, all of you perhaps have traveled before as MMDCs, or even before you got in here, do you see roads out there that do not have lights, that do not have road markings, that do not have reflectors, that where the street lights do not work on a normal day. So when it comes to ours, our capital city, the welcome to our country, why is everywhere dark? And it's dangerous. I know a lot of grown-ups who don't drive again. People about 50, 60, 70, they don't drive anymore. You know why? They say they cannot endanger their lives. And sometimes when they're driving, you find people honking at them and, trying to intimidate them off the road because they are taking their time to monitor and make sure that they don't get on the wrong side of any lane or whatever. It is not their fault. The state has been irresponsible in trying to be safety compliant for their own people. I repeat, I say the state of Ghana has been irresponsible. If the street lights are not working, it is not my job. It is the job of the state. And the state has designated and mandated some people to do that work. If the street markings or road markings are fit, it is the irresponsibility of the state. Because the state is supposed to make sure that those things are there. If the street lights, the traffic lights are not working, it shows how incompetent and irresponsible our country is. These are basic things. These are basic things that the DVLA will be asking for everybody to abide by. These are the very basic things that the MTTD, police MTTD, will insist that you go by. So why can't we get it done? Why can't we get these things done? And we will come and report statistics that, 5,700 so people died through road crash, and that's it. Of course, there's some drivers who are irresponsible, but check those roads where those accidents happen. We can't even light up roads. Common roads, we can't light the roads up. And I've showed you, and it didn't start from this government, I must emphasize. I started complaining about this many, many years ago. It's not so long ago, I showed you poles that had been procured and left the mercy of the weather. Why do we do this to ourselves? The regional minister is clear. And I hope that the regional minister will stick to her words. Any MMDC who is not delivering, sack the person from office. It is not a family entitlement. Sack the person from office. I 6-5 me the DVLA directive, and I want to say big shout outs to the DVLA boss, Mr. Nikwe, and Bus Stop Boys. Please show me their photo first. There are two gentlemen in the photo, Mr. Nikwe and Kojo Safo. Bus Stop Boys, they're on to something very, very special, and they're doing a great job. Amazing. It started like a small hunch, now it's becoming a big creature, a big monster, I should mention. Now, these two gentlemen are on to something. DVLA boss brought new number plates and is trying to streamline stuff. He's collaborating now with Bus Stop Boys to say, look, we see what you are doing. In fact, find me the release. It says, we see what you are doing. We want to help you to formalize it. So it's a driver and vehicle licensing authority, as part of its corporate social responsibility, has committed to registering the cars and motorcycles of Bus Stop Boys that are used in their operations free of charge. The authority has also committed to training members of the volunteering group in the use of the equipment in order to enhance road safety. Two things: they will register their vehicles for free, and they will train them also for free. Bus Stop Boys is a volunteer group with the objective of ensuring a clean environment and environmentally friendly practice. The group, since its inception, has engaged in community cleanups as well as educating the public against indiscriminate littering of the environment. The authority believes that perhaps partnerships of this nature are important in building a sustainable and clean environment that is responsive to the needs of the citizens. This is dated the 25th of August, 2025. Now, tomorrow, we are all going to be at Akwatia. There's going to be a by-election in Akwatia. The police service is very clear in their minds what they want to be done in Akwatia. I'm sure the political parties also know what they want to be done in Akwatia. The campaigns have been waged, but the elections will be fought, won and lost, depending on where you are. For Akwatia. But something broke my heart again over the weekend. I heard the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana speaking. Listen to him.
Na the pressure na e koso court no be di asem no wie be June 11th for na court no say ampa only the rightfully elected member of parliament for Akwatia. SAS asem no wie 26 days per and free 26 days. Into Diana Odi lawyer Odi making a court. Some lawyer don't say now also open to Ama NDC for. Let me say thank you for Akwatia for Mama Fasa Akuniano and Ma Sa lawyer young from Solomon. Solomon Enes Kase Obeye Ama Akwatia no Ebebua Kwame Asumedo na waye Ama Akwatia.
Mr. Former Vice President, good morning to you, sir. I bowed down my head in shock when I heard you speak this way. You see, politics is a contest of ideas, as I was taught in school. And Harold Lasso will say politics is who gets what, when, and how. It doesn't say why. It doesn't say how. So this is an emotional campaign. In political science, we call it propaganda. This is a technique of propaganda. Dr. Jisa, good morning to you. It's a technique of propaganda. That NS Yakumi, my good friend, was taken to court, and because of that, his pressure rose and he died. Which autopsy report are you reading from, sir? No, I want to ask you, Mr. Vice, please. Which autopsy report are you reading from, sir? Did the doctors tell you this, or you are assuming? The word on the street is that when you were in the witness box, you and I were not there, talking about what had happened in the 2012 elections. And for almost a full year, the new government had no hand to operate. Investors were shying away from the Republic of Ghana. I'm sure the president at the time, John Dramani Mahama, should have had high BP and died. Mr. Jachi Kwesi, the word on the street, looking at his age and some issues that he may have medically, he was literally dragged. Do you remember that the president at the time, who you were number two to, went all the way to Arsenal to tell them that Nipa or Babeko jail, no, this jail candidate, would you vote for this Nipa or Babeko jail? Nipa or Babeko jail, this jail candidate, would you vote for him? While the matter was in court, this is a senior lawyer, Tawa. If you read the Ghana law reports, you go to every law school, his cases are being taught. It was prejudicial in this country. He was president. He knows the law. You were number two for him. That should have given Jachi Kwesi BP and, in fact, stroke and heart attack at once for him to have died. Did he die? Look, his election was even dissolved to the point where he was prohibited from entering parliament. That should have given him BP. My good friend Ernest was in parliament, even though there was supposed to be an injunction. He swore the oath in parliament, sat in parliament, and was ready to bear the consequences. That's why I'm asking you, which autopsy report are you reading from? Mr. Former Vice President, let's raise the debate. You see, the people of Ghana, they have gone past this deal. Thanks to Johnny's Bites, we have gone past this emotional blackmail. No, we have gone past it. Where somebody's husband dies, say, let's put the wife there. Or somebody's wife dies, say, let's put the husband there. We have gone past it a long time ago. The people of the Republic of Ghana deserve better. The people of the Republic of Ghana, they deserve better. Wage a better campaign. This campaign is weak, is dead on arrival. That because he was taken to court, Do you know how many people have gone to fight their elections in court? Afotofi, in the what's the constituency to the end of the country towards Côte d'Ivoire. I can mention so many other people who fought their cases in court while their colleagues were in parliament. They were waiting for their turn. Should have given them BP. They should have died too. So which autopsy report are you reading from, Mr. Former Vice President? It's a simple question I'm asking. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just asking you and giving you examples to weigh against. It is this kind of same emotional thing that was what might have inspired the people to block General Seydou Nketia from entering the funeral grounds, because clearly you could see the woman was doing pure incrassism. I'm not saying you are doing, but I'm saying that when you rise to speak, people expect a certain level of. I don't think that you should be coming down to this level, Mr. Former Vice President. Desperation should not be the no. The kind of respect that Ghanaians have for you as former Vice President of the Republic, and some people want you to be leader of the NPP going into the 2028 elections as flag bearer. These are not the kind of utterances that you want to be making. Because if you don't take care, it will come back to bite you. I have stood here and consistently said to you that most of the people around you are not looking for your best interest. They are looking for what they can get from you. I'm telling you. Most of the people around you who give you such advice to go and make such public utterances and public speeches, they are not around you because they want the best for you. They are around you because what they can get from you. Sit down quietly and look at them. They are fair weather friends. When it's good, they will fly with you. When things start going south, they will move away. When you lost the elections in 2024, all the people who were behind you, who were charging that, hey, you see that they have joined other camps. I said, most of the people around you, even now, I told you this before the 2024 elections. You didn't listen. Post the 2024 elections, I'm telling you again, prune your team. There are only a few of them who can tell you what the truth is. Whoever advised you to come and say this at Akwatia before the chiefs, he didn't try for you. And you also did not try for yourself. Let's raise the debate. Let us raise the debate. And six, we'll go to Amasaman. That's our last thing. There's a bushy thing there. We'll go to that one. That's our last thing. But there's something that a friend of mine drew my attention to over the weekend while we look for that video. And we're wrapping up with that. He said that, have I noticed that each time somebody is elected, whether it's an assemblyman or an MMDC or MC or whatever it is, MP, minister, or anybody who is elevated, they are giving special dispensation. And he says that even in us, it starts from our schools. So he drew my mind back to secondary school days. That when somebody is made a prefect, he's given a cubicle. Within the dormitory, he's given a cubicle. And then he even has servants, people who will come and serve him. Fetch water for him, do this for him, do that for him. An example will be the dining hall prefect, for example. The dining hall prefect can hoard all the food and nobody will talk about it. He can hoard food and take it to his cubicle and share with his friends. They have the best of everything. That's where corruption begins. Today, children in primary school and junior high schools are sharing toffees and pencils to people to elect them to become school prefects, compound prefects, whatever. In my days, it wasn't like that. It was about the fact that you knew the work and you could do the work and the people loved you. There was one instance where my father said, oh, yeah, class prefect, no, you will not be class prefect again. That was in class 5 because I'd been class prefect from class 1 to class 4. In class 5, he said, on the election day, you won't go to school. We were home when they came and they said I had won the elections, even though I was not present. It is because people believed in the competence that you have. May JB rest in peace. This has been the 10 years since he died. 10 years, no father, but we survived. Now, 6, just find me the video. This is the Amasaman Municipal Assembly. The Amasaman Municipal Assembly. I'm saying good morning to them. Now, this is behind the offices of the Youth Employment Agency. Malik Basintale, good morning to you. The NCC, Miss Adi, good morning to you. NADMO and some other offices, good morning to you. Amasaman, yes. Now, this will also be the frontage of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, which used to be NBSSI, now GEA, the Business Advisory Center. This is also the frontage of the National Ambulance Service, the National Health Insurance Authority. Dr. Bampo, good morning to you. As a matter of fact, the Department of Parks and Gardens is in the same compound with what I'm showing you, this rubbish. You see all the offices I mentioned. The Parks of Gardens leaves this place the way it is now, and they go outside to go and beautify other places. Then we went to the washroom. Water does not flow. So NCC will teach us that you have your civic responsibilities, that when you enter some place and you go and use the loo, you have to flush and wash your hands with soap and under running water, They teach our children. The office where their people operate from does not have water flowing, and the place is dirty. Civic responsibility. National Disaster Management Organization say when the trees are overgrown, when weed overgrows, you have to weed it, Amasaman, they are sitting there. Then you have Youth Employment Agency. Malik Basintali and his people, they will say, we are training youth in community police, youth in community this, community that. And then we are weeding here, we are protecting the environment, blue water guard, blah, 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 all of those ones. Look at your frontage. Then you have Ghana Enterprises Agency, GEA. Say you have to keep your environment clean, you have to set up the business well, it has to be looking very well so you can attract a lot more businesses. The Business Advisory Center is located in this Potomi. And then you have the National Ambulance Service. Health related. They are also in this Potomi. National Health Insurance Authority, that tells us you have to live right, you have to live well, regenerative health. You have to live in a clean environment so you don't get ill, so that the resources we put together will be able to take care of you see all the offices I mentioned, they are in this Potomi, this mess. A thing poto. Amasaman. And they go to work. This morning, they will wear makeup, iron their dresses, wear sophisticated wig and cruncher, wear belt, expensive belt, and perfumes, and walk through this dirt. They will walk through this dirt straight to their office. I said they will walk through this dirt straight to their office. NCC, GEA, YEA, all of them, they will walk through this Potomi. A thin way, they will walk through it. All of them. Nobody wants to use their 10 fingers to help to solve this. And I'm saying that Parks and Gardens, they leave this dirt and they go out there to go and beautify other places. Water does not flow. It is part of conditions of service. Have they spoken about it? This is what we are talking about. It's not about talking about... You see, when we spoke about video, we have showed you the video. Some people talk about video. They say we have video. They can't show the video. They say we have videos. We'll show you the video when we close right now. They don't have any video anywhere. They don't have videos anywhere. And one person narrates this, another person comes to corroborate it, another person comes to say it is a lie. Oh, Charlie. So within the public space, you have people who are supposed to be taking care of it. It's the same way they can kill you and lie to your relatives that you were not this, you were not that. This is Amasaman. This is Amasaman. I'm sure we can do better. Here ends my sermon. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-01.
Uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame.
As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa, dear. Why
very much watchful, on point, to get the latest information. And all the things that need to be done also have to be complemented by a strong team editorially as well as technically to bring you all the live visuals and the best coverage. But we also have cash out. It goes with the short code *439#. Increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners as many times as you can. Please make sure you do well and increase the number of tickets based on the options 2 that you're going to choose. And there's one popular person who tends to watch us, well, popular in his home. That's a little one, Jason Udifo Boama of Mary Mother of Good Counsel School. You're in stage 5. It's from your father, Michael. Says that you're always watching us before you go to school. I'm sure it's too late in the morning. I'm sure you're already in school, but just to say that Jason Udifo Boama, Mary Mother of Good Counsel School. You're in stage 5 and you're always watching us. I'm sure you're very popular in your school. That's Mary Mother of Good Counsel. So wishing you all the best from Michael Kofi Mante, who is your dad. Says that you just tend to love us consistently. I'm just watching your picture there, Charlie. Anyway, but again, we have cash outs. *439# is a short code. Choose option 2. Increase the number of tickets you have, become one of those lucky winners. And as always, please, we can always be there. Okay. Yeah. So we're giving 10,000 Ghana cedis to all of you. So 10,000 Ghana cedis to all of you. So 10 people will be enjoying that. And make sure you're part of this bonanza. All right, so I've seen a couple of you on our stream. New Digni Atukwekwe, Prince Daniel York, Zilis Dwayne, Prince, the rest of the team, they're all in the UK. And Zilis Dwayne is Liverpoolian. They scored Arsenal yesterday. So they never walk alone. It was a nice belter by the defender. And, well, I know one person who is in pain, Engineer Samwachum. He lives in Ashorman. He's so pain. He's an Arsenal fan. For me, I'm a Chelsea fan. So Obrin Ponkaba is also there. Mani Agongo Roger, all of you, we're grateful. Please share the stream. Let's have some great conversation. I have Fred Agbanyo, Member of Parliament for the Guan constituency. He's here. Good morning to you, Fred.
Good morning, my brother.
How are you? And then also lawyer.
Why? You don't want me to respond.
Oh, sorry. Please go ahead.
Why are you
My apologies.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well.
Okay.
Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
Okay. And then also lawyer Pierre Damkwa is here. Good morning. A Liverpoolian.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you.
Yes,
and then Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin is also here. Good morning to you, Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin.
Roland, good morning. I'm also a Ghana.
Oh, you're a Ghana, yeah. I'm told that those who support us now... I'm told that those who support us now are the most patient people.
Oh, it depends.
Yeah.
But the truth is that some of us, we have learned...
Your lessons.
We've learned defeat, in fact. And we have a lot of experiences in defeat.
So you know how to cope?
Yes. The coping mechanism is high.
Right. Okay. Inshiraba K. Ofori. And, okay, so let's take you through a couple of what the messages have been from both parties, especially when it comes to the MPP and NDC. Mama War of the Asogli State is also here. You can watch us live on Facebook. Please, we're live on Facebook. So we have the Deputy General Secretary in our quotes column this morning, Haruna Mohammed, before the ban, used to be very consistent on this platform. He said the key word here is predict, and the summary of any prediction is based on if. What if the if doesn't if? We are confident of surpassing the 52% margin secured by the late NS Kumi in the 2020 elections. And I'm sure this one straight was a response to Musa Dankwe's latest poll on who likely could be winning or not. All right. So that's it. And then we have we are not sacrosanct, and we are not saying research should not be done, but the reality on the ground will be different. We'll tell you what the polls really do say in response to the global info analytics. Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT, NDC, says that since Monday we've been in the constituency working accordingly. Our teams are all over the place. Our strategy is top-notch. And our deployment strategy is also top-notch. Everything is working well for us, and we'll get more than 53%. All right? So we are not surprised with the turn of events. We are going to make sure that we defeat the MPP and give them a heavy defeat come Tuesday. There's always not a heavy defeat in Akwatia. It's always been a very close election, really, if you look at what the numbers have been. The MPP has won 5. The NDC has won 4 times. And we'll see how that goes. But we've been having Vance Gariba, who is boss for operations, Ghana Police Service, also telling us about their preparations. Vance Gariba, DCOP Vance Gariba.
I want to add that the Inspector General of Police has announced zero tolerance for weapons. What it means is that even VVIP and bodyguards to ministers, parliamentarians will not be allowed to carry their sidearms or weapons into the polling stations. They may have to hand over their weapons at the police stations, and then they can accompany them into the inner perimeter of the police stations. On the other hand, they may not be allowed to accompany them. They may stand 100 meters away from the polling station and wait for their principals. Once they exercise whatever they are supposed to do, they come and they can escort their principals and provide whatever security they intend to provide for them. The Inspector General of Police has announced the deployment of what we call the Black Maria. The Black Maria is a specialized purpose vehicle that we are going to use to accommodate miscreants who intend to create any mayhem or cause confusion during the elections.
Peter Dotto, thank you. COP Dr. Vance Gariba, Director of Operations, Ghana Police Service, they're telling us already. As we know, he currently is in Akwatia. All right, he came from up north and then straight away had to wix himself and the rest of the team to Akwatia. The police themselves, they have been in Akwatia for a couple of weeks now just to make sure that what transpired in Ablekuma North is not repeated. And that will also mean that there has to be us holding them to that. George Amo is the Executive Secretary for the National Peace Council. He's joining us on the phone. Good morning to you, Mr. George Amo. Mr. George Amo, good morning. Mr. George Amo, good morning. All right. Now, they say we're prepared. What are your expectations really for tomorrow?
Well, good morning, Roland. Good morning to my colleagues on the panel. Good morning to the good people of the Afrocon constituency. Well, I think the police is very prepared for this particular by-election. All of us as the people are very worried. If you check in the Fourth Republic, almost every by-election we have had has been characterized with some form of violence and all manner of unlawful activities. And I think that the time has come for us to find a lasting solution to this menace. We will go into a general election, generally conduct it quite peacefully. Everybody across the world will be praising us, for our belief in a democracy and allowing the rule of law to prevail. And then just when we go for a by-election, we turn everything upside down. And I've always maintained, and it's the case, that if you look at the way the international media operates, they always highlight the negatives. And the only thing that we have going for us as a people today is the fact that, we have kept faith with our democracy. We are practicing the real tenets of it, and everybody is praising us for us. By any time any of this has happened, it brings our scores down. It gives negative impression, image of about us. Now there's so much, capital out there. People are looking for places that don't want to invest their money, and nobody wants to go and invest his money in an environment where there's turbulence, people are fighting, people are killing themselves on a daily basis. They want an area that is peaceful. It's just a by-election that we are going for. If you look at it closely, it is the case that this particular by-election is not going to bring any change to Parliament. The numbers that MEP is having as of now, they are going to continue to have the same numbers. What we have in NDC, clear to third. We are still going to continue to have our clear to thirds. And so sometimes you sit back and ask yourself, why do you even have to go for a by-election like this? By seeing a democracy, you will go for a by-election, for instance, for other reasons just beyond the winning. It's a time for political parties to want to test their strategies, to want to test how they will prepare for maybe the general elections and the methodologies they need to put in place in order to be able to achieve whatever result they intend to achieve in the general elections. They also want to use occasions like this to find out how popular they are with the people. And so to that extent, you cannot prevent anybody from maybe going a bad election. But if what we have seen over the period is nothing to go by, then I think that it is very worrisome, and that all of us will need to sit back and find out how can we move away from this and have a very peaceful by-election. I have been monitoring activities that are going on in Akwatia. I wanted to go, but for some of the challenging circumstances, I haven't been able to be there. But I call on daily basis to find what is going on. And Roland, I must say that I am not very enthused. I'm not excited about some of the commentaries that I hear people run in that area.
Which comments do you mean?
Very, very senior political actors. Where we sit on this platform right now speaking, there are thousands and millions of people who are viewing us from their homes. Whatever we say on a platform like this carries a lot of weight. There are people who are looking up to us. And so it is only fair and proper that we are measured in the things we say. We may say things that in reality we will not implement, but people can be carried away or could be carried away by the things we say and go and do things that are honest, are not right. And that is why when you are in leadership, you must know that you no longer live life for yourself and you can no longer do things just anyhow. I have heard the MPP, the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Amasaman, the things he said, over the weekend, where he's trying to find reasons why our very good friend and brother, Kumi, passed on. Maybe what he doesn't know, that Kumi has some very, very great friends in NDC, and none of us will wait to see him go the way he went. All of us would have wished that he's alive, whatever it is. But in this country, we are governed by rule of law. And so regardless of your relationship and your friendship with anybody, when somebody thinks that is aggrieved, not satisfied, or happy with maybe an outcome, the law allows him to go to court and go and seek redress. And we have always done that. And the certain, Alhaji Bawumia, who is talking about this issue, what really brought him to the public eye, what even elevated him to the state that he has gotten to today, for which he even wants to run for presidency, is the same court, election petition. When they brought him somewhere before 2008 election from the Bank of Ghana, how many people in this country know about anybody called Alhaji Bawumia? Very few people knew about him. Even told that even the MPP party that today wants to lead, he didn't even have a party card. They didn't even know him in the party. But because at the time the flag bearer said he wanted him, they have to hurriedly get a card for him, and they started moving around. They took election, they took President Mahama to court, the NDC to court in 2012 after the general elections, 2013, And for close to 9 months, we were in court every day. He was in the witness box, saying all manner of things. And that is how he became popular in his own party. Today, he thinks that when somebody is aggrieved, the fellow cannot go to court. And when the fellow goes to court, and the unfortunate incident happened, that no medical report has linked to the court case, he, as the former vice president, can go and mount a political platform and attribute the death of the Kumi to the court case. And I think that is most unfortunate. I don't know what he wants to achieve, and I don't know who is guiding him and who is advising him to be saying things like that. It's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. He himself should go back and listen to
the vice president.
From the former vice president. He should go and listen to himself. If he will be proud of himself for making those comments, You know, is it the case that you want to incite the family and the people of Akwatia against, you know, the NDC political party? Is it the first time that people are going to court? Not too long ago, we're at a north. Why? The question is not a human being. Blood doesn't flow through his veins. Was he also not in court for several months, even after he has won the elections? We had the place was declared vacant. We had to go back and fight for a by-election. He has forgotten. Was he not there to campaign? And because he didn't die, it's not a human being. Because President Mahama didn't die, it's not a human being. He was in court. Several people that have gone to
somebody
court.
will say that it's just campaign messaging.
No. At his stature, he cannot make that statements. Some other persons can make those get away with it, but not him. Not him. Not him as a former vice president. Not him that came to the political eye through the same process that today is questioning and attributing Kumi's death to. I don't think it is proper. And I think that our brother, Honorable Kennedy Japan, he's tried very hard to, you know, reform himself. I've been monitoring and watching his campaign lately. I don't know the question that came up on him and the things he said over there. As I said, we are leaders. And we need to be, yes. We are, I don't know if you have heard it, and he said...
he said the MPP should defend themselves.
What do you mean by that? And when he...
So MPP should defend themselves.
Defend themselves how? It was almost even threatening the police when he says that if the police looks on, they will give them a showdown. What are you going to do? Going to fight the police? Are you going to fight them? How are you going to show them give them the showdown? You know, these things are not healthy. Now, if the police will invite him to come and explain himself, somebody will say that you are intimidating him. But it should know better. Comments like this should not come from him. You know, they should defend themselves. You went ahead to say that, well, everybody is a man. All of us, we stay in our mommy's home for 9 months, at most 10 months, and nobody can be a man more than the other person. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to do? What do you want to achieve? You know, and I heard my brother Nanabi, who now is even questioning, you know, the costume or the dressing that some NDC functionaries took the 1 week observation of the late Kumi's. And I was surprised that when we are in the political season, we are moving about. Oftentimes when you are leaving the house, you try to dress in a way that you can fit every purpose. Because in a campaign, you can easily be invited into a funeral, you can be invited to a wedding or any other social event, you can be invited to a sports, you know, so you try to...
So you're saying these comments from leading members, including the former vice president, are they irresponsible or reckless?
Yes, of course. They are not healthy because all of us want to go into this by-election and come out peacefully. We want to go into the by-election and come out without anybody. See, look at what they did to even our national chairman. They brought a letter to the NDC inviting us for the 1 week observation. The national chairman of our party led the delegation.
Say that again.
I mean, the MPP...
There was a formal invitation?
Family, a formal invitation.
From the family?
From the family to the party. And the national chairman himself led the delegation to the program. Look at the way they treated them. Look at the things they did. So assuming some hot-headed people among our party also decided to retaliate or to also respond back, what would have happened? What would have happened? And I want to commend the national chairman very highly, commend the team that went, the candidate and everybody, that at least they were able to control themselves in the face of the provocation. I don't think that this is a healthy. We are just going for an election. Tomorrow is the election. By close of day, would have finished. Ghana will continue to be Ghana. And we need to move in for our democracy. And so comments and things that, like, I hear some of the things that I cringe. I say, what is going on here? We have the men. We are also ready. We are prepared. You know, what are we saying?
MPP, defend yourself. That's what Kennedy Japan said.
And who cannot defend himself in this country? If all of us are saying we're going to defend ourselves, are we not going to create chaos in this country? Are you not capable of defending yourself to an extent? Am I not capable?
Is it not possible because of what transpired at the rerun in the 19...
You see,
Kumanov?
I say every day that the major problem of our country is hypocrisy and our unwillingness to speak the truth. You know, suddenly the police have become what? MPP and the police in this country, the things we saw in the past 8 years, they have forgotten so soon. They have forgotten so soon. Or the thing we have forgotten, all the things that happened in Ayawaso, West Wago and the rest. We have forgotten the killings in Techiman and the rest. Please, nobody should remind us of some of these things. Nobody should remind us. And don't play the ostrich and pretend as though, as for you, you are a saint, so sanctimonious. You don't know anything, you have not done any wrong. You know the things they did? Why? That Ablekumanov election that they are making reference to, several NPP people were there at Ablekumanov. NDC people were there. You saw the videos, you were around, you saw them fraternizing, chatting, and playing, hugging each other. There was no issue. Where from the Kaswa, what is the name of that? What they call it?
Van Dam?
The Van Dam. Where did she come from? Are we not aware that per the laws?
She's a leading member of the MPP.
So you must
I've heard comments that from Rashid Tanko particularly, who said that what business did she have there because she was not an accredited
anybody are talking.
And that when she went to the polling station, she was then making inquiries as if she was a party agent.
I am saying that per our laws, all of us can visit any constituency, any part of this country. Yeah. Nobody can stop you from going anywhere. Now, if you want to visit a polling station, all you need is an accreditation from the political party. Oftentimes, the party will submit names of their accredited members. The electoral commission will accredit you. You can go around, observe, and monitor what is happening. Nobody is stopping here. We all know the conduct of this woman and the way she has carried herself in Kaswa. We have a story to tell. We have lost several lives in Kaswa as a result of her activity and operation. I am not happy with what happened. But she shouldn't play the victim here. When you, per our electoral laws, there are offensive weapons we are not supposed to carry to voting centers. Is that not correct? The law is very explicit. The only people permitted to carry weapons around in electoral areas are the police. So as a civilian, what are you going to, where did you carry pepper spray to that place? So the expectation of the people who are making the noise is that when she brought the pepper spray from a bag and she was spraying people's eyes, the people should kneel down and start worshiping her, right?
Huh?
The people should have
they were pursuing her, so you can consistently say that.
How come all the people who went to the place, nobody pursued them, nobody chased them, nobody attacked them? What did she do? What did she do? She was just standing there quietly, nothing, and everyone pounced on her. People, you see, this is the way we behave. We say it nicely to switchers. I condemn every and any violent activity anywhere. Nobody has any right to attack anybody. Nobody has any right to beat anybody. But all of us must be careful with the things we do. If I were that woman, there is no way I would have gone to that particular constituency, knowing the things I've done and the pain that people have harbored against me. I wouldn't have gone there. I would have stayed that way. If she didn't go there alone, what really her going there or not going there, what was it going to change? And so I want to plead with all of us. The police are there to serve all of us. Whereas if you ask me to enumerate the activities of the police that I'm not happy with, I can say too many things. But that is what we have created. That's the institution we have. Whether we like it or not, that is what we have. We can only do it better. But this whole thing where when you are in power, the police are your friends. When you are in opposition, suddenly they become your enemies. And now you are calling for a showdown. You are going to fight the police. You are going to. What are you going to do?
You said the MPP should defend themselves.
How are you going to defend yourself? How are you going to defend yourself? So everybody should defend himself. All of us should defend ourselves. Is that what we want? And so we, the leaders of our party, have been very consistent in calling for peace, that we don't want any bloodshed, we don't want any chaos, we don't want any misunderstanding. We are only going for an elections. At the end of the day, the winner will emerge. Ghana will continue to move. What Akwatia need today is development. How to fix their roads, how to fix water, how to fix their education, how to fix their health, how to get employment for the young people in Akwatia. That is what they are looking for. Akwatia is not interested in sharing blood. Akwatia is not interested in beating people and harming people and causing injury to anybody. That is not what they are looking for. And so those of us, the certain is that the majority of people who are running these commentaries, they don't even live in that constituency. They don't hail from there. They don't come from there. So we will go there and go and foment the trouble. Then we'll go back to our hometowns and our communities and go and live. And then we live a divided constituency where people cannot come together to plan their development. It's not fair.
Lawyer Pierre Dankwam, just good morning to you, the Member of Parliament for Ketu South, also the Minister for Tourism, Jifa Ablagumashi. Good morning. He just even sent me a message that said by 2020 and 24, Ketu South was drowning in with the military, police, immigration, etc. But at the end of the day, within the context of this narrative, is the fact that we're coming at the back of perhaps the Ablekuma North, in which the confidence had not been there in relation to how the police handled and the security apparatus did handle the situation. So that could be a premise which could have heightened tensions. If you juxtapose that with what the commentary is coming from leading members, whether it's from both parties or from MPP, because that's the party where the MP is or was before he passed, would you say those commentaries are justified? The tension is justified? Because Akwatia in itself is not one of the topmost flashpoints, so to speak, when it comes to elections.
So let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning. Wish my brother Agonyo a good morning. He's looking sharp. My own professor, my Kotoko friend and brother. We also support Kotoko. Professor, yeah. You see, I think the biggest problem in this country is our politicians. And then whenever an opportunity is granted them to show their fidelity to the system, arguably they played the biggest role in creating. They tell all of us in our face that in spite of the privilege they've had to build the systems, to build the foundation for why we took upon ourselves this constitutional democracy, they tell us plainly that they themselves have failed in that effort, and so they do not trust in the system. Because in 1992, the people of Ghana took upon this constitution with a clear focus. The focus being to create a system which is going to guarantee us the rule of law, so that we'll be in the best position to be guaranteed our rights, our God-given rights to our lives, our God-given rights to our liberties, and our God-given rights to pursue our own happiness. And then in that effort, we decided that it should be led by a multi-party system, and therefore the politicians will be at the forefront. Over the years, what has happened is that they have undermined our efforts to build the structures, the systems that will guarantee us these rights. And so when the politician stands in front of the people and tells them that defend yourself, in effect what he's telling them is that don't trust the police, don't trust the security agencies, that you give us the power to build so that your security, your right to your liberties, your right to your lives, your right to your securities will be guaranteed. So when Honorable Kenny Japan stood up and said that defend yourself, what essentially was saying is that I do not trust in the police. Why wouldn't he trust the police? Why does he not trust the police? Over the years, we've spoken about how politicians have failed to empower the police. And beyond we failing to empower them in terms of the systems, of we giving them or granting them the confidence to just enforce the laws. We've also whittled down the police by the fact that entry into our police institutions are not done on the basis of merit, but on the principle of slaughtism. Roland, have you not heard our police talk about, or when they are campaigning for their internal party sponsorship, they say that vote for me because I'll give you 20 slots, I'll give you 30 slots. So if these politicians have placed people there on the principle of the slaughtisms, then what will be the capacity of those people to enforce the law, especially when it involves these politicians? Also, we create a system that says that where you have a dispute amongst yourself, instead of taking the law into your own hands, trust in the system we have created. That system is the court, the police itself. And so where you have somebody who's had the privilege of being the second most powerful man in Ghana, who apparently took an oath that I'm going to preserve, I'm going to protect, I'm going to defend the laws of Ghana. And he's going to do same in building the systems that will guarantee us the purpose of our constitution, which is to create a system where the rule of law is guaranteed, so that our right to our lives, our right to our liberties, our right to preserve our own happiness will be guaranteed. And that person is telling you that, no, don't trust that system, because when you go there, the person who you claim is infringing on your rights, you understand, and premised on the advice, or based on advice that listen, we have a system, we have an institution where you can go and get redress. You see, if you go there, then you are likely to, or the other person is likely to get blood pressure and die.
BP.
Yeah, what the vice president is saying, that in spite of the fact that
he said he was being pursued because he just won the election.
Because we created a system. So you won an election, but the other party is saying that, listen, in how you won the elections, some of his rights were infringed upon. He raised dispute. Instead of hitting the streets or attacking you, he said, what, I'm going to the system we've all created to handle disputes. And the vice president, the former vice president of the land, is saying that that person did wrong by not taking the law into his own hands, but rather by going to court to seek redress. And that by reason of he following an agreed structure for settling disputes, he caused the death of somebody, and so they shouldn't vote for him. That is crass irresponsibility. That is the vice president saying that I do not trust in the systems we've created. And it shows you the fundamental lack of respect for principle. Because this is a person who continuously tells them people that choose me as your presidential candidate because of what I did for you in court back in 2013. And so when you juxtapose what Kenny Japan said to what Bamia is saying, before me just tells me that NPP has become a party where you must prove to their members that you have more familiar spirit in you than the other, so that they will choose you. Yeah, because they said that there's the spirit of the party that will choose you as their presidential candidate. So you must prove to them that you are more aligned or more in tune to that spirit. So they will choose you, so the spirit will choose you as their presidential candidate. And so any listers, you must show that no, the familiar spirit, MPP's familiar spirit has filled you more than the other person. Because, you see, anytime I listen to them, I cringe. Last week, our news was awash with their presidential candidates accusing each other of the sins they've committed.
There's even one that top 16 sins. I think Dr. Bamia has some 16 sins.
Yeah, and those sins were sins against Ghana. The sins they are claiming that people committed were sins against Ghana.
That's correct.
The sins they are claiming that the people committed are sins against Ghana. And so if sins were committed against Ghana, and you, one of the major political parties in Ghana, defended those sins against Ghana, when you knew, because there's no dispute as whether they knew that they were sins or not. They knew they were sins. And you chose to defend those sins. You chose to defend those sins. Very critical sins. Very, very critical sins. In fact, you are saying that one of your candidates was the one who masterminded the sin that was committed against Ghana at Ayawaso West Welcome. You defended it. You said that same person was committed a sin against Ghana when he attempted to purchase the property of Ghana illegally. You defended that sin. Kennedy committed a sin against Ghana when he tried to drive tribal disputes by saying that some certain tribes should rise up and go and kill Gans and Ewes. You defended that sin. And now, in spite of all this, I would have thought that having confessed to your sins, you take steps to correct them. But you are even adding to the sins by telling us not to trust the system that you had 16 years opportunity directly, 16 years to create. You say we should not trust the police. You had 16 years to build the police, to empower the police. And so you understand that the biggest story going into this election is an opportunity for the police to show that they have the capacity, they have the will to enforce the law.
Yeah.
But how are they going to do same when clearly the politicians who've had all these years, a generation, more than a generation, to build these institutions, the capacity of these institutions, are telling us that we should not trust them? Because if the only reason why we'll be thinking about defending ourselves, why there'll be massive police presence, is if the police is not capable of providing that security. That's what they are telling us. And so, we, the people of Ghana, the repository of sovereign powers, when we are going to take that decision as to who to give those powers to, It clearly tells us that it's not a decision that must be taken lightly. Because people even don't know why they want the power. Yesterday, I saw a video. The MPP now even arguing that because of the clan, that one person is Adriana, one person is Britio. Jesus Christ.
You are which one?
I'm which one? That shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter my clan. Because when you understand that the philosophical premise for what is going to happen tomorrow is the social contract. And if you read the Levantine and all the philosophers of the social contract about the state of chaos, which necessitated this contract, and that we signed this contract with our leaders and with ourselves generally through the elections. And because of what is at stake, it's a decision that must not be taken lightly. So people who come and tell you that vote on the premise of clans, very useless premise, people who come to you and tell you that vote because or vote against somebody only because the person trusted in the institutions we created. People who come and tell you that, listen, do not trust the system that they've had 16 years chance directly and 32 years and another 16 years chance combined, 32 years chance directly and indirectly in building. And if there's anything clear, you can't trust these people, especially with your authority. Okay. So tomorrow, I implore on the people of Akwatia. At the end of the day, the politicians are irresponsible, we all know. But ultimately, because they are the repository of sovereign power, they must obey the laws that we created. They must find a way of respecting the laws that we've created. The police, we all know that they lack capacity, partly due to their own fault and largely due to no fault of theirs, because of the sheer lack of principle that goes into deciding who to employ into the police service or not. Right now, we've reduced entry into our police not on the basis of merit, but on the altar of slaughtism. But tomorrow they must sound a signal that they are ready to take this huge opportunity. They are ready to establish themselves as having the capacity and the willingness to enforce the law and to understand that in this system, which is governed by the rule of law, then we are all equal before the law. So it doesn't matter, or it should not matter, which politician flouts the law. That anybody who flouts the law will be arrested. I still don't understand why Howard Kunsen actions have not been taken against Howard Kunsen.
Why?
The gun.
But that was before.
No, but crime does not expire. So that if last week the 8 people who were convicted, if we want to succeed with this reset, then it should not be enough that some 8 people were convicted last week. We should go all the way back to all the instances. And to show our commitment to the principle of the rule of law. There should not be some 8 people we do not know. Some big fish, because a lot of big fishes have flattered the law on both sides of the political divide. You understand? Some big fishes ought to be hauled before the courts to answer for the actions, to tell the people of Ghana that one, we are committed to the ideals, the principles, the principle of the rule of law, which we all took upon ourselves, and that we respect the principles that lie within that abiding, that glorious principle. You understand? Unless we do that, then what my brother said about Ghana losing its place as one of the good examples of what constitutional democracy does, we'll be losing grounds on that. Tomorrow is an opportunity. It's an opportunity that we must grasp with both hands.
All right.
Tomorrow, the people of Akwatia must sound a signal.
Yeah.
They must not go and support people who want to reduce voting on issues of clan, on issues of trust in the systems that we've created. People who say that don't trust the police itself, and let's make the right choice.
Dr. Tubuahin, you might have heard from the candidates themselves, whether it's lawyer Isibedia Bedu, and then also Asumedu of the MPP as well, the messaging, and then also what the messages have been from the leadership of both parties. because the viewers also have messages of their own and their concerns. So, for example, Roland Jan Kwanfo Jr. of Anchor Hill says, comments being made by MPP stalwarts, particularly Kenneth Japan, among others, are concerning and inflammatory and warrant condemnation. And then also said, as someone with presidential aspirations, this rhetoric raises questions about his commitment to national security and stability. And so both parties should uphold the principles of universal adult suffrage and allow the police to perform their duties without interference, which is what we all want. If that is the case, do you think that by your observation you have any grounds to perhaps think that the war drums are being beaten at a constituency which ideally shouldn't be seeing these sort of verbal comments, so to speak?
All right. Aparu, it's another good day.
Yes, happy new month.
Yes, the Lord has been good to us continuously for 9 months, right? This is the 9th month. Right, so we thank God. Special greetings to my co-panelists, yourself and your crew. Good morning and happy new month to our cherished viewers and social media followers as well. Roland, see, I don't want to assume that we have a perfect democratic system. It's a work in progress. But as we're building blocks and mortar, putting them together to put up a structure, we must equally be concerned about the materials we are using, the kind of cement, the kind of sand you use, isn't it? And even to a large extent, the contractors, the masons who are working on that structure. It is very unfortunate that when you look at the architecture of our democracy, it raises a lot of concern. And that is why over the years, in as much as we are striving towards a perfect democracy, which probably will put Ghana's name and image at the highest level of world democracy, you know, we need to learn from certain experiences going forward. But as it stands now, from 1992, obviously when we check the election observer mission's reports, nothing seems to be changing. It's almost like a script that is repeated to us. So you see all the images of 1992 in 2024 elections reports. So the question is, what are we doing as a nation? And the institutions of states which are mandated in one way or the other to superintend, you know, our elections, what are they doing? I mean, Lawyer P. Adankwa was talking about the Ghana Police Service. And you look at their control. You look at the authority they have, you know, concerning elections in general and by-elections in particular. And sometimes you want to say that, look, this institution is not actually strong enough, you know, to handle our elections. You look at EC and the kind of structures they put in place, and you are tempted to say that, look, we probably would need a change of mind, you know, probably bring another body that will be strong enough to manage the affairs of elections. But you see, the whole thing, I mean, I just don't want to go to the political parties, but you see, the point is that when you look at all these problems emanating from elections and all that, you know, the recent violence, you know, the past and all that, we can only point accusing fingers, you know, to the kind of authority that the two major political parties have had anytime they are in power. You see, so for me, if anything will change, if people would be responsible, I think that those in authority, should do the needful. What I feel strongly when it comes to some of these narratives being put forth, we are just talking about what Dr. Bawumia said, what Kennedy Japan has said, and other people also talking. Obviously, you see, it is probably because some of these things over the years have not been checked. People just make comments and they go scot-free. Why? Because they are politicians. Elsewhere, when you make any statement which probably could endanger, a process, probably you'll be called to answer for some of these things. Here in Ghana, nothing happens. All right? And so it's like, say what the people wants to hear and move on. It is like, because you are a politician, you can say anything at all and then move on without anybody touching you or something. In this country, we've seen elections going to courts, and almost every time, sometimes after an electoral process, somebody will challenge the results. It is good that that thing comes up. But again, we have also seen that in most cases, those who go to court don't win. In this country, I think that it was stated that elections are won at the polling stations. Lawyer?
Yeah. It was in the 2013 presidential election.
Exactly. Now, what is the implications of that statement? It has both internal party implications and external party implications. And what it means is that, look, if you're a political party and you want to do well in any election, because of the problems attached to it, ensure vigilance. Ensure vigilance. And so you agree with me that, look, for any opposition party to do well in an election, this issue about vigilance is what works for them. 2024, vigilance worked for the NDC, isn't it?
Okay.
2016, vigilance worked for the
So you're saying the comments by this man are correct?
Why taking the sale out of my mouth?
The wind out of your sails.
Sorry.
So Kenny Japan also, I think, with the rationale and intention, is speaking along those sidelines that the MPP should protect themselves.
I'm saying that.
And then be vigilant.
Yes. So if you're a political party and you want to do that.
So you said defend yourself.
Defend yourself. All right. That's why I said that it has everything internal and external party, implications. You understand? Now, so because political parties are equally, threatened, by the fact that if you are not vigilant, if you don't put certain things right, you are likely to lose the election. So issues of defense also comes in, like you have rightly said. All right. And the other aspect is that if you don't do your work well, another issue about voter suppression will hit you. Voter suppression can hit you, which means that one political party can put up forces against you, right? Cause commotion and scenes within the polling stations. And what it means is that your supporters may remain in their houses. They will not come out to vote. When it happens like that, you are in trouble. So these issues is what politicians must endeavor to work on. Because what it seems is that once you are in power, everything seems right for you. But when you get to a position, then everything else is wrong for you. Did you not see that whatever was happening will not go for you when you are in opposition? All right? The constant interferences, and the fact that we are not able to give the police, that kind of independence to discharge their responsibilities. So for me, look, we need to understand some of these things, but I wouldn't also sit here and ascribe to the fact that whatever statements that have been done, with respect to the call for people, to be, violent, would be right. No, I don't subscribe to violence and others in terms of elections. What I believe is that let the due process move on. And all these things, borders on issues of what? Trust. You see, trust for all institutions of state mandated, to oversee our elections. One, is it the case that the EC can be trusted? Two, is it the case that the Ghana Police Service can be trusted? Is it the case that even the political parties themselves, NDC and MPP, who are at Akwatia, now, are they, or do they have any trust for each other? Believing that whatever the NDC does will near to, progress. And the NDC also believing that whatever the MPP does would equally bring certain positive results. Okay. We are in this boat together.
You and who?
Both NDC and MPP. And Ghana. We are all in the boat together.
What would be your best counsel or advice to the leading members spearheading these utterances and then the parties?
So that's what I'm saying.
Mention names of the people who are making utterances. Don't generalize it.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Don't generalize
that if we can enforce trust, all right, my first advice is that make sure that your statements, bring that kind of confidence into people to the extent that, look, people would approach this process with all fairness, with all sense of integrity and all that. But if comments will come, that probably is going to tell people that, look, go and arm yourself. That will not be good enough.
Okay.
Again, you see, the fact that you have to be vigilant to secure your ballot and the ballot of the constituency doesn't mean violence. It's not about fight.
But if Kennedy Japan makes such a comment, defend yourself. So it means that anything could happen. They could flout police.
So,
and we've seen.
I don't think that you should just single out Kennedy Japan. That's why I started by talking about, politicians in general, from the past. Others have said worse things, which, of course, nothing happened to them. Nobody questioned them. You understand? So if the first person who made that unfortunate statement had been questioned, obviously, Kennedy Japan wouldn't have the guts to repeat that same statement today.
Who made it? Nobody made a statement. Who made a statement?
Others have said worse things. Others have said worse things. So please, if you...
If
you are talking about...
So his boss. So Kennedy's boss.
Who's boss?
Kennedy's boss.
Who is Kennedy's boss?
Nanado. It's where Chongaka. And nothing happened to him.
Okay. Please continue. Conclude for me.
So all these things, what I'm saying is that, look, we need to understand, okay, some of these things. I mean, you see, if you are mentioning names, okay. No, if you are mentioning names, there are other names. Oh no, me, I'm not into those things. But you see, what I want us to understand is that, look, being responsible with elections and understanding that, look, we are building a democracy that will put Ghana's name at the highest level. We must move away from issues of violence. We must move away from, speeches that would actually bring some kind of, violence into our electoral process. We must move away from the use of, these political vigilante groups, who
But you can clearly see that there's tension, right? For example, when Isidro Nketia and the NDC delegation went, we saw the video. You've seen the videos of it?
No, I've not yet seen that video.
Really?
Yes, but it is something that is to be expected, that tension will be at Akwatia. All right. I don't know whether Isidro Nketia was in his full regalia.
What do you mean by full regalia? He was just in a funeral cloth.
He has a particular dress that he wears.
No, he wasn't wearing the war
thing.
smoke.
Okay. So if he is not in that, then that signals peace. All right. But I feel that. But I feel that, look, Akwatia shouldn't be another election where after Akwatia we will sit down here and be talking about who did what and who did not do what. All right. For me, the Ghana police should rise up, to the occasion.
Okay.
Electoral Commission should rise up to the occasion. The two major political parties should do the needful and protect, life and property in Akwatia, and also to ensure that there is decency. And I believe that the NDC, as a party, has every right, to protect the people of Akwatia.
Who do you think will win based on the messaging?
You see, I don't really think about how do you call it, the trend in the election. Obviously,
but you've heard from the candidates.
It is swing, yes. So you see, it is not the message that would
matter.
matter
been a death
for now.
So
it is not sympathy. This election, I don't really see sympathy votes, getting in. All right, because when you look at the determinants, it is not just about the sympathy votes and the messaging. It's about the will of the people and what the people want to have. But you see, as at the time I did a small survey at Akwatia, I knew that the MPP was in the lead.
Okay. So between the two candidates, the MPP candidate is.
Oh yes.
Okay.
But like I said last week Monday.
He said, forget about nursing and doctor and those things. But
who said that?
Job. You've not been following his campaign. Anyway, just 2 minutes. What are your expectations really?
Well, but before I even come to that, Roland, you see, there's a problem when issues like this come up, and in our commentary and conversation, we try to generalize everything. If Ragbinyo has done something wrong, mention my name, call me out, let people know that I've done the wrong thing. But this penchant where we always want to, let's put all of you in one basket and let's create the impression that, see, I've listened to yesterday, we did our final rally at Akwatia. And speaker upon speaker, the chief of staff and staff was there. Everybody who spoke from NDC side was calling for peace. Everybody was calling for peace. And so when some persons have gone out there to make reckless statements, we should call them out. They have names. And we can identify them by the groups that they are coming from. We should stop the generalization and make it look as though it is all of us who are beating the war drum. Yes, I cannot sit here and say that in time past, persons from NDC have not made similar statements yet. No, that's not the point I'm making. But on this particular occasion, so far, I think that we have been very, very responsible in the things we have said, just so that we can keep and maintain peace in Akwatia. But we cannot say the same from our brothers and colleagues from the other side. And I think that all of us must rise up to condemn them. I have said, we already have a two-thirds majority in parliament. Akwatia is nobody's stronghold. If the statistics is anything to go by. If you check the number of electors I've heard over there, as of now, NDP is leading NDC by just one. And so if we should win tomorrow's election, we have equalized. And so it's like a constituency you can better describe as a swing constituency. Anybody that can win it. It's swing constituency. Anybody that can win it. From all the information I have, the work we have done on the ground, I am very, very certain that by close of day tomorrow, our candidate would have emerged victorious. Our candidate is somebody I know personally. We are going together at the point, if in the same room, Bernard, I know him very well. And I know what he brings on board. And so I will urge our people to remain calm, to remain tolerant. It is only when people know that they are going to lose that they want to ferment trouble. We know we are going to win, and so let us remain very peaceful, and let us urge the police to continue to do their work. Let me just conclude. We all saw this Ablikumanov thing that happened recently. We saw the action of the government. We saw the action of the police. that the persons who were involved were quickly arrested, they've been taken to court, they've been charged, and all that. When it happened, say again?
And convicted.
And convicted. Yeah. When it happened at Blekuma, I was so West Wagon. The president set up a commission just to deceive Ghanaians and play for emotions and minds. When the white people, what happened? All the people are still working around the place. How about Kumsin? The Chuck Norris, or whatever you want to call it. You're still running around.
Kaswa Van Dam.
The Van Dam, the council, you're still working around.
I think I need to write it for you.
Kaswa. Yes, maybe like Kaswa Van Dam, right?
Kaswa Van Dam.
I didn't watch movies when I was a young boy.
You did.
I didn't.
Please wrap up for me.
You know,
we have to go live to Akwatia.
All the people who were killed in Tejima, they're still there. Okay. Just maybe if their presidents in the past had been that bold and courageous and had taken action, I'm sure by now, it will be enough deterrent for anybody to want to go and perpetrate any form of violence at a by-election. And so we call for peace. As I said earlier, in conclusion, what Akwatia is looking for, just like every other colony, including my colony in Guam, is development, employment for the youth, fixing our roads, fixing our schools and hospitals. That's what we are looking for. Not to share blood, not to destroy properties, and not to kill anybody.
Fred Agbenyo, the friend to the NDC candidate, they were in Legon together. So, lawyer Duji Tamaklo is also chief executive for the MPA, but also the director of the legal directorate of the NDC. And he says, I've watched the video of the defeated MPP presidential candidate in the 2024 elections, blaming lawyer Bedi Akon for the untimely death of the Honorable Ernest Kumi of Akwatia. According to Dr. Baumia, the election petition resulted in the death of the MP. Another new law from Dr. Baumia, he says, the Constitution allows for petitions to cure election-related disputes. This mechanism, he says, is to continue to reduce self-help and resolving election disputes. He says it's instructive that it is curious that Dr. Baumia decided to play politics with the pain of the Honorable Ernest Kumi and his family, and that for 8 months, Dr. Baumia, Nana Dodankwe Kufuado, and the late Jacob Echepi Lamte took President Mahama to the Supreme Court to challenge his 2012 election winning. President Mahama must be very strong to be standing strong today, going by the divisive utterances of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. He says Dr. Mahmoud Baumia's politics sometimes crosses the line of decency into an abyss of irreprehensible hypocrisy, as well as an unbecoming statement and posture of a statesman. I have defended NDC MPs who had their elections challenged and sized them from Jomoro, Karachi West, Pusiga, among others. And Eduji Tamaklu says he recalls vividly when he started weaponizing his religion for political gain, that there was the need to vote for a Muslim vice president, so that at the swearing-in ceremony, there will be someone holding the Holy Quran. He then concludes, many times he crosses the line just for the moment. He doesn't look at the long term. No wonder he lost in all the Zongos except Winneba. See what the MPP did to the Honorable Jachi Kwesen from 2020 to 2024. Of course, it's hounding and haunting as well. And, well, Mawina Igbeta is live from Akwatia. He's here to give us the latest briefing. And today, we're not supposed to be seeing campaigning, etc. How does the constituency look like, Mawina Igbeta?
Roland, a very good morning to you. So we're in the Akwatia Township proper. Just by me is Baba Jamal's law firm, the Akwatia office, the NDC office just behind me, the NPP office in the constituency as well, up on the hill, not so far away from here. This morning, as we've been here, it's been a very tiring day for a lot of the individuals who were involved in the campaigning all throughout yesterday. And so even with our checks with the respective teams as to whether or not they are up and about, because they all said that, yes, officially no campaigns today, but they will not stop at anything. They'll be going door to door to ensure that the message is sent to as many people as possible so they can cross that finish line a lot of them are still resting as at 7 a.m. when we're checking in with the teams. But for now, if you come to the township, there are mounted police barricades. Not that they've not been here all throughout, but there is increased searches by the police who are stopping every vehicle that's coming through, whether it's a V8, whether it's a private vehicle, it's a taxi. They are going through the paces, asking that boots be opened, and they are conducting thorough searches on all of these vehicles that have been coming through the Akwatia township this morning. Whether you're coming in or you're going out, the police is ensuring that they are checking these vehicles and making sure that no weapons, call it what, is being conveyed by anybody into the township and out of it. And so you're seeing that thorough search. And it's caused quite a bit of a traffic this morning as well, as we continue to see a lot more of the police transitioning in and out of the place in terms of ensuring that security is quite tight and ensuring that the election tomorrow is peaceful from start to the end. And so all throughout, I mean, the citizenry have been comporting, they've been understanding of the police and the task they are up on, and it's been smooth throughout. I've seen personally, since we've been at this particular checkpoint, a number of V8s, very tinted glasses. They had all of it rolled down. They searched through the boots and everything, made sure everybody was clean before they ushered them onwards to continue with their business. And that's why it's been like Roland, even as we've seen some of the political, branded vehicles moving and around and honking quite loudly, seeking to campaign, if you ask me. That's what it's been like in the Akwatia township as of now, Roland.
And you know, as we've started already, your Election Command Center will be bringing to you all the live updates, and it's starting now, just like we've been doing over the period when Eric went to Akwatia. But Eric, you find that it looks like the police have taken this a lot more seriously than many thought they would. Does it mean that they are spread across the nooks and crannies of Akwatia, so to speak? All right. Okay. So that's where we are currently. But Lawyer Pia Dankwa, it looks like the police seem to have taken this seriously as it is. What should, advisedly, they be doing in order to be aligning with what the expectations are?
Well, just for the law. See, because if there's one thing in our Ghana, the law is, I think the law is quite clear. They should simply, what's called, enforce the law. They should not have any fear nor favor. You understand? They should send a signal that when called upon, they are ready and willing to enforce the law. For me, that's all. So, you know, you were talking about what our expectations are. Mm. Mine is more of hope.
Hope.
Yeah, I hope that the police will rise to the occasion, ensures that after all, in spite of the principle of Stoicism that's written down on their capacity, when they are called on, they are ready and willing to uphold the laws of Ghana to the benefit of all of us. In terms of which direction the people of Akwatia should be going, I know it's not in my place to advise, but clearly, based on the spreads being as exhibited, we don't want any group that will undermine the systems we've created by saying that somebody died because somebody chose to trust in the dispute resolution structures or systems that we took upon ourselves. We don't want to be giving powers to any group that will say that, hey, in spite of the opportunities we've had to build the institutions of state that are meant to guarantee us the rule of law. Don't trust them. We all know that we all have a right to self-defense. Everybody has a right to self-defense. However, there's a reason why we created institutions, because we don't want mayhem. And so, the people of Akwatia should be looking more green than blue, because the spirit the blue boy exuding, the familiar spirit, I think is getting worse. We don't want that spirit to enter into our parliament. And it shouldn't matter whether people who say it's propaganda or not. But I want to build Ghana, and so the yellow comes. You should look at the green, son, and go there. You see, I've heard them say that they don't want any. I put it to you in Parliament. So those arguments are not helping. At one stage, I put it to you. At one stage, the clans, Diana bred to you, all those useless arguments. We have been given an opportunity to add or to play a part in building a nation. I want to build a country that's devoid of tribalism, a country that is devoid of clanism, a country where the people, the citizens, can trust the systems they've created. And that's what we should promote. So, Ro, I am coming from a position of hope than expectation. And I hope that the police, and I think this election, sadly, is going to be about the police because of what has happened in the past.
Yeah.
We are all looking at how the police are going to handle themselves. And I hope that they rise to the occasion and tell the people of Ghana that when they are called upon, they are ready and willing to play their part in securing this country. Yeah.
Your compatriot, all of you former members of the MPP, Ebo Bakman, says...
I have a compatriot. You see, when you use the word compatriot, the other one, whether NDC, whether CPP, we're all compatriots. Ebo Bakman is my brother in arms.
No, I didn't ask you a question to explain relationship.
I said compatriot. He's NDC, but he's also my compatriot. You don't have a party, or you have a party. So he's also my compatriot.
So your compatriot.
He should have a
former members.
No, so you have to insist on the use of the word
former members of the MPP. Even though there's amnesty for you people to come back, and you people are proving stubborn.
Stubborn. Go where to family. I see that you don't like me.
Ebo Bakman says Dr. Bawumia should keep his divisive rhetoric within his party. He is the key reason the MPP is fracturing. And we will not allow that same divisiveness to spill over and damage the unity of our country. Ebo Bakman, go back to the MPP. I don't know why you are resisting the invitation. And over the period also, the DVLA outdoored, and let me say good morning to Julius, Logas, Nikwe Kote, good morning to you, Onupa. They commissioned their new office in Akwatia yesterday. I think this is the only by-election that we haven't seen new roads being done. It's very surprising. NDC, they don't want to do new roads, do new roads, they'll build new markets, they'll do everything. But your last word, just 2 minutes, Dr. Tutu Boying.
Yes. Ro, I still stand by that position that you see everything.
That Ken was right.
No, that is not what I said.
Okay.
You see, and Fred, I don't know, but Fred was like, I should be bold to mention names.
Yeah, because the comments by DMB.
But listen, Ru,
the treatment of the NDC delegation was not right.
The kind of discussion I do on your platform, okay, is strictly not partisan. But you see, we have heard or die be die, isn't it?
Yes.
We have heard do or die, haven't we? Yes. And we have heard boot for boot.
But how these things are coming from?
Boot for boot.
From where?
From one stock.
Which stock?
What is it?
All three.
You said
Fred, all three.
Do or die.
Or die be die was from Nanado. Do or die is from JDM.
Oh.
Check. No, you check. You get your time and check.
But do or die.
Do or die was by JDM.
I'm going to pass the exams. Do or die. How is that the
It is by your interpretation. You see, your interpretation for all that be die will not be favorable. But boot for boot will be favorable, isn't it? That is your interpretation. Assuming you are writing a script. No, no. But you said we should mention names.
No, he says that.
Today, we're in Akwatia. He says that.
Please go ahead. I give you all the privilege. Please talk.
I had built a premise to indicate that the sins of MPP is equally the sins of NDC.
That is
all right. Yes, that.
Fred says that don't equalize.
Equalize.
No, but he equally called on me.
Don't generalize.
He equally called on me to be bold and not to put all the eggs in one basket. All right.
Okay.
But you see, the point is that if you have an opposition leader who will say, "Do or die," if you have an opposition leader who will say, "Or die be die," then where are we heading to? So for me,
the context is very key.
But we can equally discuss the context. All right, we can equally discuss the context. And to the best of my knowledge, when these statements were made, in fact, there were media discussions, public condemnations, and all that.
So what are you saying? That you support the statement or you don't support?
I don't support it.
Because from what you're saying that it's been made in the past, so this one is okay.
I don't.
Exactly so.
But no, Fred, don't get me wrong. My point was that when someone makes a statement, because the person is a political figure, okay, whether that statement is good or bad, the person is not questioned. All right? And that is what will energize another person in the future to make such a statement, to make such a call. You see, and you don't know when one statement can throw us into, the state of Rwanda. So all that I'm calling for is that our politicians should be, careful when it comes to making such
So who do you
statements.
think? You said the MPP is leading.
Yes, I said that.
So predictions from Dr. Tutubuai.
Let me make my point clear. I said that about a month ago when I did the survey. Oh, you cannot be a suspect, Fred. You can't hold me like that.
You can't intimidate you.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
What do you think?
I said that the MPP was leading. All right.
It's leading. And you say Izo.
I said MPP was leading. And last week, you remember when you called Musa Dankwa? I made that same point.
Yeah.
And I said that shouldn't be.
You're a poster.
I'm not a poster.
Okay.
You are doing the first for the
Sherry Giovanni says, thank you, gentlemen. I think the intentional attacks on the personality of Dr. Baumia, most especially from members of the Movement for Change, because Dr. Baumia's victory in the last February race thwarted the victory of their candidate. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Well, I want to know if it's a poster. Because the person
what I'm saying is that I'm afraid I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor.
I'm just helping you.
No, don't help.
The conversation.
Don't help. So I'm saying that barring any last minute, changes, okay, I expect the MPP to win.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
all right.
All right. That one.
Okay, but you've made a point. Now, the CEO for Boss Energy, she celebrates your birthday. That's Akwatia Wuno. Happy birthday to you as well. And wishing you all the best in your endeavors. Well, we'll come by the office one of these days and we'll have some discussions. But in the meantime, and we also have to tell you that, well, gentlemen, thank you for passing through. If you want to look smart, fashionable, make sure that you visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Now, Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for both men and women. Now, with Woodin, you can get creative and versatile with your designs. Be confident and show off how truly African you are in Woodin. So all you need to do is to make sure that you go to a Woodin boutique near you today and choose from their variety of trendy products to complement your unique style. So follow Woodin Fashion on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you can, or across social media consistently. Remember, Woodin, le créateur. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. We'll go back to Akwatia, get the comprehensive insight into all that is happening in a day to that by-election from Mawina, Egbeta, and the rest of the team. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything.